start with that? Why don't you start with this scenario and walk it through so that way we can keep it recorded? And then the other piece I'm going to ask is if Gantt can access whatever that report was from your terminal. I don't know if it's on a common network. If not, then maybe we need to add him into the chat, but we'll determine that later.
I have the spreadsheet I can pull up.
Oh, you do? There you go. That's all we're going to need then. All right. So go ahead and tee up the discussion so we can record it, and then show us what the use the screen share and show us what the spreadsheet looks like, and then walk through your process.
All right. So here's the process. So Adobe, they give us a list of accounts that were closed in the last 90 days without training attached to it. And then from that list, here I can pull it up. I have it open. You guys can't see that, right?
Nope.
All
It'll
right.
be on your left-hand side. The second one down is the screen share one.
Got it. So we're going to show... You're going to see my entire screen here. All right. What just happened there? All right. Can you guys see this?
Don't swim.
Yep.
It's okay. Just yeah. There you go. I can see your screen. You're fine.
All right. Good. So here are here's the spreadsheet that Gantt gets, and what this has on it. Gantt, you want to talk through it a little bit?
Absolutely. So this is the raw data that I have, and at this point I go through and start working on my filters to narrow down my list of potential opportunities to call into. First, column A, break it down from Americas. Then I need to go to column G. Excuse me, I think it's column F, the one that's highlighted now, and mark it to close, all of the closed deals. And then continue on to
Hey, Gantt, sorry to interrupt, man, but can you actually go ahead and execute the filters that you do? We're recording right now, and that way we'll capture it.
You got it, bud. Makes sense.
Thanks, man.
So one of the things also that's still a question of issue are the two tabs down here. No service attached, pivot 90 days. And you can't see this. Can you still see the screen? Okay. No services attached, pivot deals attached. I'm trying to get clarification on the differences of these two lists because the filtering results filtering both lists populates different results. So first step here, go and mark out America. Obviously, not be taking any opportunities there. One other thing of note, we're looking at 9,580 opportunities from a raw data list. As soon as I take it to the Americas only, takes the data there. Number goes down to 5,312. Stage name, I select for all of the deals that are closed to book. At this stage, we get 9. There's something in regards to the structuring of this list that I'm trying to figure out from this tab that is clearly not the right results.
So what's up there? That's the here. Do that drop down right there.
So
Not
this
that one. Not that one. Well, those are ones that are just closing.
True.
Open that up. Open that back up. Those ones are just closing Q3.
Correct.
So we're just
Because I've already worked off of a previous list that held the Q2 deals.
Yeah, but when was the last time you got that updated? And Q3 we're only a week in. If that. Right? So there's probably a problem.
Okay.
Q3 technically start. When does their Q3 start?
Just shortly.
Yeah, so that's your problem.
Okay. There's that right there. So then at that point, I filtered down. Where's our total number? So we're at 2477 versus our original 9 or 5 that we broke down from. Then at this stage I go to service type. These are all the contracts, license only, license consulting, keep all of those. So there's 2,477 opportunities to go into. I have been instructed in the past to remove government. However, I've begun developing working relationships with the public sector accounts. So I still would like to have visibility into what those deals are, although they wouldn't be part of a call-through list, which is ultimately what we're looking to obtain. So really at this stage, and previously I filtered out the government accounts. At this stage, I just really would like to break them off into a separate tab or a separate list to break that in half, because call on the commercial accounts directly into the clients, the accounts. As for government, is more alignment with the field, because they would not want me blindly calling into those government accounts. So at this stage, I take my opportunity names, and there's no rhyme or reason for how an opportunity name is entered into the system by the owner. It really does not clarify what the actual product is that's associated with the solution. So one of the challenges that I faced in the first two attempts of working through this list was filtering out opportunities that were listed that were not part of my portfolio, which is the marketing cloud services. I fell into Creative Cloud and some of our other products, EchoSign, Connect, things of that nature. So although the solution name may fall into my products, my opportunities, the actual opportunity is not. And I'll take line item number 10 here as an example.
Hey, Gant, before you do the example, can you do me a favor? Can you scroll all the way to the left and then scroll all the way to the right so I can see all the fields that are in there?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, thank you, because that this is another thing that we're trying to figure out. There is one final step that needs to be created, and that is sorting these by. Can you see if there's anything you can figure out on this that would what we were doing last time?
Yeah, for whatever reason, it won't let you drop down and sort on the dollar.
Oh, because you guys get it as a pivot table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I also want to do, so like this opportunity here has been, I'm also, and again, pardon me, I left this step out before going back to the opportunity name. It's the filtering down any under 200K deals, putting my focus on under 200K deals. Again, to be able to sort through that, if there's any understanding of how we can manipulate that or change that.
Hey, Gant, to help answer that question, did you always receive this report in this format, or is it something that you requested or your predecessors have requested? What's the continuity around getting the report in this format?
It has been, this will be the third report I've received, and they've all been in the same format.
Okay, so help me understand another thing then. If we were able to go back and say, I want the report in this format, what would that be?
That would be so. Let's give let's kind of give you guys a summary of the relationship here with Adobe. We're not their favorite people in the world right now. They're giving us July to show some more results before they fire us. So, long term, and we're going to do fine in July and everything will be okay. I think long term, we can go and ask for different access to Salesforce, different format of the report. But right now, for the immediate need, this is what we have to deal with.
Okay, copy that. The reason I ask, though, is because pivot tables are generally what will happen is you'll get a data dump, and then you'll create your own pivot table per your own requirements. Someone on their end, it seems like, is going through the manual step of creating a pivot table, which would be relief to them if we just got raw data, right? So if we asked for the report raw without pivot, then you wouldn't have that filtering constraint. We would just have raw data. And then we, on our end, could create a pivot table based on whatever the hell it is you want to see. Does that make sense?
Correct. Does this tab give you anything to work off of?
So let me ask you that question in another way. On that report that you had, is there anything to identify? So go back to that other tab. Is there anything on here to identify? So when we talk about an opportunity, so let me back up a little bit. What I'm trying to align in my head is, ultimately we want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm asking the question, but it's going to sound like a statement. Ultimately, I think what we want to do here is take this list and get it into SFDC and then work our opportunity pipeline from SFDC. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so then my question here then is there anything on this current series of fields that identifies an account versus a contact versus an opportunity? If I were to say, hey, what is the individual opportunity that's listed here, how would you identify that to me? Is it by row?
Yes.
Okay. And so on each row, is there an individual identifier that says this is a specific opportunity?
No.
Is there a number? It says opportunity 0004 or something, nothing like that? There's no identifier that way?
That would match into their internal Salesforce would potentially be this DR number here.
Okay. Deal registration number? Okay.
That must be, that's from what, if I'm following you correctly, that's our most valued resource to identify the pertinent information that we need to go and attack the account. Comes from that DR number.
Okay, that makes sense.
Number?
I'm sorry, can you say it again, Ashley?
Sorry, is that a unique number? So
That is. That DR number is attached to the license, which, again, as we filter down for, it is a license deal that does not have training attached to it. Correct.
Okay.
Now, I have come to find out that, and this is slightly off topic, that this does not necessarily mean that this particular account does not have training. It's just not attached to this particular DR number. But that is neither here nor there. I don't think that that's anything that would keep us from moving forward.
Yeah, so that's a great point, Gant, because I think the way that Ashley and I are thinking about this, and Ashley, you can chime in and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I'm thinking about this, and possibly she is that the life cycle of getting you to a point where you can actually qualify a lead begins with importing the data and populating SFDC with a couple of different standard objects that are going to give you that visibility into what the contact is, the account is, and the opportunity is. And so I think what we're both thinking is, how do I take this sheet and populate those three things in SFDC, so that way the next thing that Gant has to do is look at the opportunities in SFDC and now determine, okay, there's a percent probability that that opportunity turns into a sale, and you can go down you can utilize SFDC just as that tracking mechanism. But to get it to there, I think what we need to do is utilize something similar that we just discovered on VMware, which is there's a mass import function that we can utilize, but that in order to utilize that mass import function, there has to be key fields to identify an account, a contact, and an opportunity. And we can create those for you. If they're not here, that's no big deal. But I was trying to discern if they are already here, and if they are, cool, we'll build off of that. Does that make sense, what I just said?
I was with you for about 90% there, but I think I can fill in the rest. Yes, because that's what I was able to populate with Raj, with scrubbing this list down, and then with only one Salesforce SFDC Adobe access port, which is mine. I handed him my laptop. He took it home for the night, and was able to pull a list that gave me every single contact name that was associated at the account attached to the account that the DR was. Wait a second, I'm confusing myself with that. That I could get every contact name on the account that was associated with the DR.
Yeah, copy that. That's absolutely something we could do. That would be an output of importing this information into SFDC.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let me just to help bring this to a point where we could potentially be doing something with what you've got. And Ashley, I'm asking you, but can we go down the same road that we did with VMware, which is, can we extend an Adobe sandbox instance out of the current license that ESG is using for their SFDC, segment an Adobe sandbox, and then number two, create or modify the account, contact, and opportunity objects in SFDC to incorporate the data fields that you see here on this spreadsheet, such that we can enable the data importer tool?
I am checking their sandboxes right now, so they only have developer sandboxes. So we could build this out in a developer sandbox, but a developer sandbox is not going to have any existing data.
Okay, so we're going to have to, so then what do we do? Can we have a mass export of some production data into the dev sandbox?
We should be able to do that, yes.
Okay, so then thinking through action items out loud, and I'm not saying this is a comprehensive list, but I think we've got, so I think you were able to just check something in their prod environment. So do you have access to their prod environment?
Yes, I have Gantt login.
You have, okay, and is that?
For the internal ESG
Right.
Salesforce.
Yeah,
So
and that's all we're looking at right now. Yeah, just to
put this
clear.
into the ESG Salesforce.
Which Raj has to populate that list, and then we upload it.
We could get this list, and what they're saying is they could take the list that you receive here, get that populated properly, get that all condensed down properly, upload it directly into our Salesforce.
Gotcha.
Right, right. So let me just, I'm gonna steal this.
Hey, Gabe, are you still there?
Oh, sorry guys, I clicked the mute button. Hey, I'm gonna steal the screen share back, and I'm just gonna whiteboard a couple of activities that I think we should go, just highlight, and then we'll talk through who gets what. Okay, is that fair?
That's fair, and as a time check, I know it was on me for sucking at Google for starting late, but I want to talk about some immediate reporting that we need out of Salesforce that maybe Ashley could help with, and it might take maybe 5 or 10 minutes, if that.
Okay, so give me 5 minutes to whiteboard real quick, and then I think we can get to that too. So let me share something here.
I'm no longer sharing, right?
Right, you should be seeing my screen now, hopefully.
Oh.
Stand by 1 second. Are you guys seeing a white screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so no, not yet.
Not yet. We're seeing your.
You are screen sharing.
I'm screen sharing, right?
Go back to that.
Okay. All right. See it.
You see it? Okay, so I think we got this box, which is admin privileges, right? So we got that, and I think you've got that, right? And then we got this box, which is sandbox, which is build out sandbox with Adobe production data. And then I think we got this box, which is modify current or create account contact and opportunity objects in sandbox. And then I think we got this one. And chime in here too, Ashley, if I'm missing any of them. But this is what I'm trying to capture here, is just what do we got to go do? And then I think we've got, so once those are built, then I think it's utilize import or data loader for test/demo of object build with spreadsheet. And then if that proves out to be correct, then it's going to be build out production objects and workflow in prod environment.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
You guys all agree with that? Okay,
Yeah.
so just to check these boxes, right now, Ashley, do you have admin privileges and do you have a dev environment? You don't have the sandbox, but you have a dev environment that you can access on Adobe, correct?
I can access it as Gantt.
As Gantt, okay. So then on here, for build out sandbox with Adobe production data, can you extract the current set of prod object data in the account, contact, and opportunity objects?
I can extract a subset. The developer sandbox cannot hold as much as the partial sandbox could, though.
Right. But you can extract enough that we can build out a dummy set of objects with the required fields and related lists that are ultimately going to do what we're doing in VMware, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So then here, so then you can do this. You can execute this, and it's going to take you some time, but we're at least at this point, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of timeline do you need to get the sandbox configured so we can start pulling in the the prod details and eventually get to a point where we can import the spreadsheet and identify what the data elements are that we need?
I can get the sandbox started tonight. It can take up to 24 hours for it to fully activate. And then I can pull production data tomorrow.
Okay, so definitely by the end of the week, probably through the weekend, we can have something ready for Monday from a demo standpoint.
Okay.
Yes, I can try to have something ready from Tuesday, maybe, because it's 4th of July on Monday.
It's 4th of July.
Oh,
I'll be back.
yeah. Well, I don't know what you're complaining about. I mean, you should just work, right?
Let's do it Wednesday because Gabe's out on Tuesday, or Gant's out on Tuesday.
Okay. Okay, so by Wednesday next week, and then we can take next steps from there.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, so now going back to his reporting requirement, once you get to this point, all the related objects and the fields will be there for reporting out of a standard SFDC reporting object, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. So does that scratch your itch, Kevin, in terms of what you need for reporting, or do you have specific reports that you want to give some insight into now, so that way she can be building for those by next week?
Yes, I need to be able to pull as soon as possible from our Salesforce a simple, here's our total pipeline by stage, what our forecast is, and what the change is from last week. And so, and the report show, hey, here's our total pipeline by stage. So I have it by stage and then total at the bottom. And then I need that broken out to what is the new business pipeline versus what is the, what's the other piece of it?
New business versus existing backlog.
Backlog business, like BL, backlog business.
Okay, I can have that created for you. If you can send it over to me in an email, I can have it for you by tomorrow.
Can you send it? Yeah, I have your email address. I'll take a picture of it and I'll write it out and send it to you because Keith wrote it up on our board.
Okay.
simple. We need to send over Adobe as quickly as we can, and then be able to refresh it. And I don't have access to our Salesforce yet, so I need that license. But to be able to go in and say, hey, here's our total pipeline, here's the change week over week, and then here it is broken out by new and backlog.
Yep, I can definitely put that together. That won't take long.
All right, thanks. I figured that was pretty simple, and I could probably have figured it out myself, but I don't have access yet. All right. Sounds good. Are we good?
Hey guys, sorry I dropped you. Were you guys able to square up with what you need for the reporting?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So we're good?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right. You guys
Thanks,
be good.
everybody.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Gant.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Ashley.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.